Assalamualaikum, and what is up everybody, Farid here from the Derpy Minecrafter, and welcome back to another keyboard video where today I will be reviewing the BTC 7150. Now I know this review is long overdue, by 2 years to be exact, but I figure it's the best time to review it. You might not know this, but I've been forced to use it for around a month now because all my keyboards except the rubber dome over membrane ones are broken. Well, I was the reason why they break in the first place, so I kind of deserved it, but hey, at least I still have one good keyboard to type on. The BTC 7150, or more formally known as BTC Enhanced keyboard, is one of the keyboards made by a Taiwanese company, Behavior Tech Company or BTC, which was founded in 1982. BTC has made many keyboards in the past, but some notable examples include SIIG Mini Touch Plus, BTC 5100C, BTC 8120, Packet Bell 5130, 5131C, BTC 5060, BTC 5100, and finally BTC 5151. This particular model of BTC 7150 I own here has a Wearnes branding above the lock lights. At first I didn't know what this Wearnes brand is, but then I looked it up on Google, and essentially it is a computer brand under PT Metrindo Supra Sinatria, which is an Indonesian company founded in 1988. Well, I got this BTC Enhanced keyboard around 2 years ago for only 120 ringgit. I've unboxed it before on this channel, so click the link in the description if you are interested. It originally came with the box since it was new in box when I bought it, courtesy of Glenn Lee on Carousel, so thanks mate, but I seem to have lost the box, so it wouldn't be featured in this video unfortunately. By the way, go check out Glenn's channel, I'll link it in the description. I forgot to mention that it would cost you around 30 to 60 in freedom money to buy any BTC keyboard on eBay, unfortunately. Well, to justify the price, the keyboard is a full size, which means it has the same form factor as your typical office keyboard. But unlike those crappy keyboards, this keyboard is not light and does not feel cheap at all. In fact, it weighs exactly 1 kilogram, nice, or in unit for the mentally challenged, 643 pennyweight. Well, the build quality is no joke either. The case is made of thick plastic and it does not flex at all. I mean, just look at this. Furthermore, there is no dead flex whatsoever, despite the barrel plate being made of plastic. So the typing feel is firm but not bouncy and flimsy or whatever other bullshit that modern keyboard enthusiasts love nowadays. Now this is what good keyboards should be like, no flex at all and fully firm typing experience, unlike those shit canoes most people seek out nowadays. I'm looking at you mechanical keyboards with gasket mount. Aside from my hatred of modern mechanical keyboards and their enthusiasts, you must be wondering, what the omelette flipping flying bird is that keyboard layout? Well, it's a win-keyless JIS or Japanese Industrial Standard keyboard layout. Well, in simple words, this keyboard utilizes a 106 key layout, which is standard in the Japanese keyboard market. And the layout does not include Windows key. Why no Windows keys, you might ask? You see, back in the early 1990s, which is I suspect when this keyboard was made, Windows keys do not exist, which explain why you don't see these keys on keyboards made in this time period. Windows keys only become popular and started popping up in keyboards after its introduction on Microsoft Natural Keyboard in 1994. Quite surprisingly, this BTC Enhanced keyboard was made back in December of 1994, yet it does not have Windows key. That's a bit of a keyboard history lesson for you. No need to thank me. Moving on to the most interesting part of this keyboard, which is the switches. I can already hear you type in the comments asking me whether this keyboard is mechanical. Well, the short answer to that question is no. It's a rubber dome keyboard. Now before you click off this video, I promise you that this keyboard uses one of those well-known dome with slider switches I mentioned in my IROX K10 review video. If you can't tell already, it's BTC dome with slider. BTC dome with slider switches are essentially a slider in a barrel plate over conductive rubber domes over a PCB. Do note there is also another variant of this switch which uses normal rubber domes and membranes instead, so keep an eye out for those if you're planning to buy the PCB variant. According to Destority Wiki, the BTC dome slider, at least the one used in the BTC 71 series, including this 7150, has a lifetime of 10 million key press, which is standard for rubber dome keyboards, and definitely less than the typical 50 million of key press of MX style mechanical switches. The switches has a total travel of 3.5 millimeters, which is 0.5 millimeters shorter than your typical MX style switches. But the difference in travel is not that noticeable, at least for me. The pre-travel, which is the distance before the tactile event, is 1.0 millimeter, and the tactile force measures at 60 grams, which is in the mid to heavy switch category. In the unboxing video, I did mention that the tactility is like that of G-Square Dark Warrior switches, but that is extremely inaccurate since the tactility of that MX style switch is sharp. You see, since the tactility of rubber domes are rounded and BTC dome slider is obviously a type of rubber dome switch, and the tactility of BTC dome slider feels rounded, which is a completely different tactile feel compared to MX style tactile switches. I'm super disappointed with past Farid though. How can he compare something like this to that keyboard equivalent of Brain Rot? Anyway, it is still really tactile, even more so than the iROS keyboard that I reviewed 2 years ago. Most importantly, it does not feel mush at all, and the bottom out feels firm and somewhat hard, which is what I prefer. Hard bottom out is the reason why I choose mechanical keyboard over rubber dome keyboard. One more thing about BTC Dome Slider that made it still relevant to this day is the fact that the switches use MX mounts, so you can put on whatever modern keycaps you want. Personally, I would have gone with SA profile keycaps, but I'm unable to do so, at least fully, because of this one caveat. This keyboard does not use MX style stabilizers. Instead, it uses non-standard rod stabilizers, so good luck finding keycaps with those. Even worse, some keys like the spacebar and enter uses this wide slider, which makes it impossible to fit an MX style keycap on them. Although I'm pretty sure there are many other keys that use this type of sliders aside from these examples, hence the reason why I stick to the original keycaps. Speaking about the original keycaps, this keyboard comes with thin pad printed ABS keycaps, which are even worse than laser ablated ABS keycaps. Honestly, I would have preferred double shot ABS or dice up PBT keycaps, which might be asking too much considering that this keyboard is from the 90s, which is when keyboard quality started to become shit. Just great. However, despite the awful keycaps and how inferior pad printing is compared to other printing methods, the printing quality is still superb, and the letters are super crisp and sharp, which is a characteristic of pad printing. Of course, since these keycaps are made of ABS, it will become shiny and yellow with use and over time in general. So far, I haven't seen any yellowing or shine after 2 years of having it in my collection, so I guess that's a plus point for the keyboard. Because of the combination of thick ABS case, thin ABS keycaps, and the rubber dome with slider switch, and the use of PCB instead of membrane, this keyboard sounds deep and thorky, just like the iROS keyboard I reviewed 2 years ago, although there are still sound differences between these keyboards. The iROS sounds more bassy and the BTC sounds more silent, which is a great thing if you want to use it in a shared office without your co-workers plotting your untimely demise. So if I have to choose between the two, I'd definitely go for the iROS for the sound and BTC for the key feel. Well, if you're still unsure about the sound difference, listen to this. Overall, it's a great keyboard for its price, and I can safely say that there is no modern rubber dome keyboard that could come even close to it, except maybe Topra, but that's a whole different can of worm that I don't even want to open. I want to save myself from the wrath of the Topra crowd. We wouldn't want to piss them off. I might do a review on a Topra board when I have the courage and the money. Would I recommend this keyboard for you, the viewer? Absolutely yes. I would recommend it if 1. You can find it at a good deal, 2. You want a good rubber dome keyboard but can't afford Topra, hence why the BTC keyboards are often called poor man's Topra. That's all for today's keyboard review. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification to never miss an upload. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the sound test.